Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian says Iran's recent response to Israeli strikes prevented what could have been a full-scale and uncontrollable war in the region. In a video message to conference in Belarus, he called the attacks by the United States and Israel a grave violation of international norms and a blow to the nuclear non-proliferation regime. Pezeshkian claimed that Israel deliberately struck during indirect nuclear negotiations between Tehran and Washington to sabotage diplomacy. He said Israel killed outside the norms of war, targeting civilians, university students, hospitals, and residential areas. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi confirmed that recent bombings by the US and Israel caused excessive and serious damage to Iran's nuclear site. Speaking on state TV, he said that the Atomic Energy Organization is still assessing the damage, responding to the US President Donald Trump's claim that American bombs obliterated 3 nuclear sites. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei dismissed the statement as an exaggeration, insisting the strikes failed to accomplish anything significant. Araghchi also stated that Iran has no plans to resume nuclear talks with the United States. Talks were suspended after Israel began its military offensive. He said no new agreement or discussion is on the table and that Iran diplomacy would now take a new form without elaborating. Iran's parliament has approved a bill to end cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency. If implemented, it would bar nuclear inspectors from accessing Iranian facilities. Meanwhile, reports from CNN suggest that Trump administration has discussed ways to bring Iran back to negotiations, including unfreezing $30 billion, easing sanctions, and offering access to civilian nuclear energy program. U.S. Defense Secretary Peter Hegseth claimed that the strikes had set back Iran's nuclear program by years, though a leaked Pentagon assessment suggests that the delay may only be a few months back. The administration has dismissed the leak. Iran maintains its nuclear program is for civilian purposes. Israel argues its attack were necessary to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons. According to Iran's health ministry, 610 people were killed in 12 days of Israeli airstrikes. Israel reported 28 deaths. Yemen's Ansarullah leader Abdul Malik al-Houthi called Iran's response a victory for the Muslim world, calling Iranian missiles a nightmare for Israel. He praised Pakistan and Turkey's condemnation of Israeli strikes. Iran will hold historic funerals on Saturday for 60 individuals, including top military and nuclear figures in Tehran. British counter-terrorism police have arrested 4 people in connection with the pro-Palestinian protest at an airbase in England. According to Reuters, the protest took place on June 20th when 2 activists from the group Palestine Action broke into the airbase in Oxfordshire. They sprayed red paint over the 2 military planes used for refueling and transport and further damaged them using crowbars. A police statement said that the 29-year-old woman and 2 men aged 36 and 24 were arrested on the suspicion of commission, preparation, or instigation of acts of terrorism. Another woman, aged 41, was arrested on the suspicion of assisting an offender. The protest was strongly condemned by the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who called the act disgraceful. Following the incident, Interior Minister Yvette Cooper announced plans to use anti-terrorism laws to ban Palestine Action. She said that the group's action had become more aggressive and has caused damage worth millions of pounds. In response to the arrest, Palestine Action accused authorities of cracking down on non-violent protests which disrupt the flow of arms to Israel during its genocide in Palestine. The group has regularly targeted British sites connected to Israeli defense firm Elbit Systems and other companies linked to Israel since the start of the conflict in Gaza. Meanwhile, Gaza's government media office has rejected Israeli claims that Hamas is stealing humanitarian aid. The statement came in response to accusations made by the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Israel Katz. The office said, "We categorically deny the false claims," and added that 8 convoys had been secured by Palestinian families and clans without interference from any Palestinian faction. Doctors Without Borders, or MSF, has also issued a statement condemning the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, a US and Israel-backed relief scheme. The charity described it as slaughter masquerading as humanitarian aid and called for it to be immediately dismantled. MSF said the scheme forces Palestinians to choose between starvation and risking their lives for minimal supplies. Hospital sources in Gaza say 36 Palestinians have been killed today by Israeli fire. 6 were killed near an aid point north of Rafah, and 10 others, including a journalist, were killed in a drone strike in Gaza City's Tafah neighborhood. Additionally, a Gaza official has warned that 17,000 children in the enclave suffer from malnutrition. He said urgent intervention is needed. In Israel, a court has rejected Prime Minister Netanyahu's request to postpone hearings in his corruption trial. The Supreme Court of Pakistan has dismissed petitions filed by the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf declaring the party ineligible for reserved seats. A 10-member constitutional bench headed by Justice Kamal Khan Mandukhil delivered the verdict with a 7-5 majority. This decision upholds the earlier ruling by the Peshawar High Court. As a result, PTI will not receive any unreserved seats, nor will they be allocated to other political parties such as PMLN, PPP, or JUIF. In Swat, at least 18 people were reported missing after flash floods triggered by heavy rainfall. Officials confirmed 8 fatalities, while 3 individuals have been rescued. Search and rescue operations continue across 8 locations in the district. KB Rescue 1122 reported that 75 people were stranded along the Swat River on the bypass road, 58 of whom have now been rescued. Rescue teams have recovered 3 bodies from the 𝐒𝐭𝐲𝐬 and 1 from the 𝐶𝐚𝐰𝐬, while 7 individuals remain stranded there. In 𝐒𝐭𝐲𝐬𝐻, more than 22 people were safely rescued, and efforts are ongoing in Manyar, Panjigram village, and Barabama Khela. A total of 120 Rescue 1122 personnel have been deployed. The Charsadda Deputy Commissioner has issued a flood alert as the Swat River's discharge at 𝐶𝐭𝐲𝐬 has surged to over 77,000 cusecs, categorized as a very high flood. Rescue teams have been deployed along the Kabul and Swat rivers with announcements made via mosque loudspeakers urging the public to move to safer locations. PPP Senator Shahrur Rahman blamed climate stress for the deadly flood, saying these are not random natural disasters. She urged authorities and the public to take early warning systems seriously and recognize the connection between climate change and such extreme weathers. Meanwhile, the KP Provincial Disaster Management Authority has issued a flood alert and advised local administration to identify vulnerable areas, ensure timely evacuations, and provide emergency supplies. All rescue and emergency services have been instructed to stay on high alert. In Sindh, the Pakistan Meteorological Department has forecast heavy rainfall across the province, including Karachi, Hyderabad through Sunday. The rains have brought relief from the summer heat but have also triggered urban flooding warnings. The Met Office has warned of the possible damage to infrastructure and disruptions in daily life. In Karachi, several areas received moderate to heavy rainfall. Temperatures dropped after the showers, with humidity levels remaining high.